Yeah. Okay. Here we are. We're doing this. Hi, everyone. My name is William Bednar, and this is Lochsleaf Media. It's a really exciting day for us. That's right. Woo, indeed. Because we're recording the very first episode, the maiden voyage of our actual plays for role-playing games. We're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, kind of. Pathfinder purists, don't get too mad at me when I just say forget the rules. It's in my homebrew setting called Elansar. I made it, I think, 17 years ago or something like that. Most of these players have played in this world before. I'm writing a book in it as well, but that doesn't really matter right now. Anyway, we're all going to say hi in just a moment, but before that, I just wanted to thank everyone for listening. We're really glad you found us. Now, if you're ready, let's get lost. So let's go Zach, Ben, Benton, Claire, Chelsea, and everyone just say a little bit about yourselves. Actually, I didn't say it this time. I'll say it. About myself, I'm William Bednar, actor, writer, musician, professional nerd. I'm currently in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway, and Lochsleaf Media is my literary, nerdy outlet to put all the things that happen in my brain out into the world. And I'm really glad people seem to be at least marginally interested in that. Zach, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm William Bednar, and I'm Zach. I think we should make an official rubric for how nerdy you are, because I get a lot of points for being at the towards the end of my PhD. Just right. I'll pull that card out in science.
Yeah, you should.
So nerd points galore. Love playing D&D. I really don't have it. Yeah, I'm Zach, and I'm calling in from Toronto.
Hi, everybody. My name is Benjamin Papik. Professionally, I have no idea what I am these days, but I do profess to love Pathfinder. So I'm very delighted to be here and to dive into Elansar. Talking about a nerdy rubric, I think we should do a 3x3, just like Pathfinder alignment. So I'll go with chaotic nerdy. That is mine. Were there any other prompts, William, or did I miss something?
If there's nothing else you want to tell us about yourself, then that's all you need to say for now. I'm sure we'll learn a lot more later.
I'm 5'8", ruggedly handsome, and I love long walks on the
beach. All right, Benton, give us your best shot.
What's up, y'all? I'm Benton Guinness. I'm an actor. I got into D&D when I was just a child, and my home village was raided by raiders, and my parents were killed by sorcery and roguish critical strikes. Ever since then, I've just been rolling dice with William in Elansar, and I'm so excited to be back. Let's go.
Wunderbar. Claire, what about you?
Yeah, I'm Claire. I'll be playing the character Bellus, and I am a bit like Ben. I am a creative person that exists right now. So, yeah, I spend a lot of time doing the creative things and the nerdy things. I like to say if it's hard to pay your rent doing it, I'm probably at least a little bit good at it. And nothing else.
Great. That's, yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, good. Chelsea, what about you?
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm Will's sister, one of many. I'm playing the character Remi, and I'm an artist and creative.
We got a lot of polymaths on this podcast, which is, I think, a good thing.
And obviously, I grew up with Will. So I was a part of Elansar early on when we were dreaming up the worlds, and I had my own alternative world, Bellaria, with my friends, and we had our own secret language. We made up our own letters and memorized them.
I remember the alphabet.
I saw you, Ben, looking, being like, what? Yeah. So I continued to write letters to my friends in that language throughout college. And one
that is really cool.
Looks like, runes or something crazy. And yeah, people thought it was witchcraft, and it is. So anyway, that's my whole rant of who am I.
It is witchcraft.
I'm a witch.
We love witchcraft here at Lochsleaf.
Yes.
Very, very witchy. In future sessions, I'll ask you to recap what happened last session, because I take notes, but I love to know what my players remember before I tell them what they remember. And because I have so many Elansarian players, people that have played 1 or 5 or however many campaigns in Elansar, and in its many iterations, because it's changed a lot over the past almost 2 decades, what do you know about Elansar? What should the listeners know about Elansar? Raise your hands, talk over each other, disagree, have fun. I guess
I
Papick
can,
raised its hand first.
But Benton talked over me. Benton, go for it.
Oh, you first. Mine's long.
Okay, fine. Totally. I was going to go with capital A animals. So there are animals that we in our version of existence are very familiar with, reptiles, mammals, amphibians, fish, etc. And then in the world of Elansar, there are also animals that are sentient, that walk on their hind legs. I believe they're all mammalian as far as we know.
Yes, for the most part, definitely, as far as you know, they're all mammals.
And then the science, if you will, is that there are no sentient mammals with cloven hoofs, at least as far as any of us are convinced. It's like a science to the point of religion, that there are no sentient cloven hooved creatures.
Oh no, it is literally religion. It is literally a religion.
There are
jumping off of that. So just to make sure that Benton can't say anything today, I wanted to, because I was going to say that I think like not to I don't mean to put Elansar in a box of comparison, but from the inspiration and the like sort of whimsical nature, it's not that serious things don't happen, but it kind of has more of like a Narnia vibe to me than a Game of Thrones vibe. Not to say the Game of Thrones stuff isn't there too, but the whimsy and
the aesthetic is very Narnian. The politics are very Game of Thrones.
Exactly. But I think it's my opinion about what fantasy accomplishes is that oftentimes, without being literal and going directly to the jugular for what humans actually experience, oftentimes you can tell a more interesting story using archetypes from fiction and fantasy. So that's why that's one of the reasons I really enjoy
Don't make me pull Hero with 1,000 Faces off my shelf, because I will just read that instead of doing the podcast.
Well, I think, and to further Benton not speaking right now, to say what I have to say about Elansar, I think Zach made a good point that there are a lot of like Narnian aesthetic roots to the world of Elansar, but then the build and the politics of it are very Game of Thrones. And I think that's because it really did start in a childhood place that was very influenced by the world of Narnia and by these fantasy fiction, fantasy books that we were reading and movies we were watching. And as we grow older and are watching more mature shows that are coming out and are becoming more intellectual, the world was building upon itself. And what I'll say about the lore of Elansar that everyone should know from like the roots, but we all have read it, but I'm saying it more for the listeners, began in that world that there was this huge like legacy battle that it's like the 12th son or something, but it's Theosin who came to power in the battle a long time ago, changed the world as the people of Elansar know it and set it on a whole new path. And then we are entering into that world, what is it, 1,000 years later?
Well, no. Theosin is the emperor of Helmator right now. We're starting play about 20 years after the Third Great War, which is when Theosin came to power. We'll get into the history and stuff of all that later. But currently, the post-war age is called the Age of Illumination in Elansar. It's roughly comparable to the Enlightenment in our real world. And technologically, it's relatively the same. Elansar trends towards anachronism, but if there was any century that that we could pinpoint, it would be about the 18th century in our real world. Claire, before we let Benton talk, what do you know about Elansar? Because you're the outlier here. You don't know much about Elansar, but what do
I know,
you
it's literally going to be like, Benton, the party has to have at least one lawful good. I'll let you speak, but apparently Well, yes, I'm definitely the greenest to this world, and as such, made a clever, if I do say so myself, character choice to be a child. And so I'm going to have a limited understanding in general of those kind of things. But one thing that probably is important is that I am a gnome, and gnomes are not super common. They're not widespread over the world. That's my understanding.
They are
limited to one city.
Almost non-existent. I mean, there are maybe a couple hundred gnomes in Elansar right now. There are very few, and nobody knows where they came from. Do you remember the thing about gnomes?
Ooh, should I get into that? Not me.
You know what? Let's get back to it later. Why not?
Okay.
Leave.
All right. Well, that was everyone.
The listener. That was everyone. All right, Squibbus McGibbus, give us what you got.
Well, beautiful place, but a slippery place, full of traps and tricks and deep adventures. From the wastes of Ron Hylam to the Sweetleaf Delta, to the beautiful Altar Mountains, all the way across the Attendale Plains, to the Allendale, Lansar's my home, Evelynth, my God and Lord and Savior, and he's coming back to rid this place of the humans that came thousands of years ago. Well, the Melathonians came only 300 years ago. That's an Elansar fact for you. Used to be all Dweverin, peaceful folk, stout and strong and full of tradition. But then the humans came, messed it all up. And eventually, humans brought more warring races, like the Oryx and the Goblinoids. And that's pretty much Elansar in a nutshell. And if Elansar's a nutshell, then the Fey folk are the sweet hazelnut chocolate drizzle that goes all over the top of it. Cultural people. You could say people. More magic folk, really.
Benton, are you doing this because we didn't let you talk, or were you going to do this? I'm
wondering if this is a script. Like, was this prepared before?
Yeah, the best part about that is, like, half of that is correct, and half of that is willfully wrong. And, like, maybe 10% of that is, like, almost right.
I'll have Porrick tell you the rest in game.
Wonderful. Okay.
Oh,
Sweet heavens and all the gods. On that note.
All right, so we're done. That's time's up.
That's it. That's the end of the podcast.
First session, folks.
For listening, everyone. Here we go. Listen. I'm going to have way too much fun with that. No one let me play that ever again. All right, so on that note, all of you have been for about the past week traveling on the long road toward Ghat Verhoven, which, again, it's roughly analogous to the Great Wall of China. You could say it's a big wall. It's really built out of mountains. It was a series of foothills that the Dweverin, which for our listeners are the dwarves. I've changed some names. Elves are Elth, Aelth. Dwarves are Dweverin, and orcs are Auroch. And there's some minor differences. We're going for verisimilitude here. Anyway, Ghat Verhoven. It's built out of the foothills between the Alder Mountains and the Lofen. And it's got a huge gate. And it's the main delineation between the nations of Helmator, which is ruled by Emperor Theosin. It's more or less the human continent. And Kurtalm, which the Helmatorians would say is Dweverin, but it's really many different city-states. Lots of trade goes through Ghat Verhoven, and it's always open. And you've been traveling on your way towards Kurtalm for whatever reason, individually, all you players. And you've arrived within the past day or two and found it closed and locked. And there's slowly been a pileup of travelers. At this point, there are probably thousands of people camping out and staying in various inns. Major contingent of blue cloaks, which are the enforcers, sort of the special ops of the Helmatorian army. They're setting up camp very close to the main gate of Ghat Verhoven. I'm assuming you're all close to each other relatively. I mean, you're in roughly the same part of camp. With that said, what do you do? Do you have any questions?
Well, I do
We're-
want to know where I could be playing cards and swindling out of their money. That's going to be basically what, and not to speak for you, Claire, but Bellus and Monty, I think, are going to be.
I'm going to be
Pretty much
tracking along after him, pretty much, yeah.
Great. Playing cards. I like that.
But winning money.
Remind me, we're in a caravan camp that's paused outside Ghat, Verhoven.
Yeah, like a big pile up. Like it's supposed. Normally, it's not. There are vendors and there are inns and taverns and stuff near here. So surely, normally people do camp around this place. That's normal, but it is like thousands of people. It's like if Route 66 just closed outside of Chicago.
And there's
You
not,
could not go, and it's been like a couple days.
Are there gates that people are trying to get through, or
There are smaller doors and smaller gates, but there's one main gate that is massive. I mean, it's huge, but it's closed. All the gates are closed, and has been no communication, at least as far as you're aware, from the Deveren that run Ghat Verhoven.
Have we? So, quick context: are we loose? The five of us have we been acquainted on the road for a while, or are we all just kind of getting here around the same time?
I think you have been within a pretty close proximity to each other. So yes, you may not have been hanging out. That's kind of up to you to decide. But for about a week, you've been traveling and like making the same stops and in the same camp and all that kind of thing, just by happenstance or fate.
So important note for the cards that we're playing. We're playing this Elansarian card game. Elansarian?
Sarian, Sarian, doesn't matter. Elansarian is what I usually say, but sometimes I say Elansarian.
The card game Tell Me True. The important part of this is that, keeping in mind that Bellus is an actual child, but I've taught Bellus very well how to cheat for me and how to look at people's cards very innocently and tell me what's going on. So
I love that.
I do want to make it clear, I'm low on coin, and this is a great opportunity for me to fix that issue.
But to be clear, also, Bellus is not super clear that what he's doing is like not part of the game. He's like, oh yeah,
right, yeah. Well, the thing is, that's kind of Tell Me True. It's not a game that's played in respectable society. I'll say that much.
Even if it was, I literally.
Yeah, I love that.
Since Ghat Verhoven is like the first major landmark on my way home, I'm probably interested in finding any Dweverin representatives I can make my way toward. So just as like a general, like, what am I going to do? I haven't received any word that this throwaway has been closed. I haven't heard from family or friends or anything. Correct. And I was very anxious to be home. So when it comes time for us to like take actions and everything, I'm going to mostly be focused on that at first.
Great. I love it. Porrick and Remi, what do you think you're doing here at this kind of traffic jam, this pile up?
I'm sniffing for truffles.
Sniffing for truffles. Okay.
Remi? It's Remi.
Remi. Sorry. Remi.
And I am looking around for little tricks and treats around, peering into like what people are doing and seeing what I can get out of it, just for the fun of it, because a lot of people are really stressed out right now, and I'm thriving on the chaos.
I was going to say, it looks like you're looking. What are you looking for? You should come play cards with me right now. I got a deck in front of me, and we're here to find some new competition. There is an ante. We got 2 silver to join if you're interested.
Cards. What could they be? That sounds interesting to me.
I hear some bands that are going on, and I decide I want to investigate. What do I see?
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Well, why don't Monty describe yourself?
So Monty is a marmot. They are a large ground squirrel in real life, but they're adorable. Go look them up if you haven't. But basically, like, imagine a marmot sort of wearing like Malcolm Reynolds clothes. So like
he's a brown
got
coat.
like
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much a big brown coat, You can see that he has a pretty large pistol, like strapped on the back of his shoulder. It looks like it would be a little unwieldy for him to keep it on his hip. So he's kind of got it on his shoulder in this interesting way. I also have like a pipe that I'm like not actually smoking, but I'm chewing on to, maintain the rodent teeth that grow forever.
I love that.
Can we go around and say what our characters look like really quickly, I guess? Since
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Remy.
Remi.
Remy is an elf and generally appears to have light blue skin, but to a lot of humanoid encounters charms into just looking like humanoid skin can kind of be.
So are you wearing your glamour currently, or are you in your natural elf state?
I'm in natural elf state right now.
Okay. Cool.
Potentially will turn into glamour, but is having a lot of fun.
What kind of leaves are your ears?
What kind of leaves are my ears?
Think on it. You can come back to that.
Okay.
Will's done lost his mind.
I can make it up. You're saying I can make it up?
Yeah.
Ginkgo leaves.
Ginkgo leaves, great.
I
Love it.
want to do ginkgo leaves. And yeah, light blue skin, but can turn a glamour on that is like passing human. But it's like such a light blue that it almost kind of looks pale. So even without it, sort of like a interesting look. Is wearing a lot of collected clothing, sort of like haphazard things you would find along the street, sort of like boots that maybe are a half size too big, just kind of clothing like a sweater I might have found on the side of a side of the road, maybe hanging off of a.
So
like
Remi is from Brooklyn, is what you're telling
Remi's
me.
from Brooklyn. Underneath has like sort of this kind of very traditional elf, kind of almost like royal looking underneath wear. That's like this old, but
Cool.
it's like covered up and not taken off. But like
It's a little
sort of
archaic.
covered and yeah. So it's like, what's going on here? Just a vintage collector, or did you actually have that for a long time?
Right. Awesome.
That's
Wonderful.
Kind of
Let's go to Bellus. What does Bellus look like?
So Bellus, as I've said, is a gnome, but a child gnome. So keeping in mind that grown gnomes are about 3 feet tall, I am really small. And just everything about me is very round and adorable, like little round nose and like big, like puppy, like baby fat cheeks and like, just like really very, very like just so sweet and like bright eyed. I have these big brown puppy dog eyes. And everything about my outfit is like haphazard. Like I wear overalls, but one of the buttons is missing. So it's like very poorly sewn together on one side. And the other side is like the button hole is like loosened from time. So that keeps kind of falling off all the time.
Yeah.
I have a hat that's kind of between a beret and like a beanie, but it has like a lot of dropped stitches and stuff. Like I clearly made it myself and it was terrible. And you can probably see even now as I'm like playing cards and bouncing around the table and having a good time that like somehow my skin is getting like more pink, more bright. My hair is kind of going almost a little bit purple. I don't know if I should just explain I'm a chameleon gnome. And so
Awesome.
I can begin to change my appearance based on my emotion or based on if I want to hide. But the more complicated I'm trying to become, the harder it will be and the less successful I'll be.
Cool.
Mm.
Awesome.
That's fun.
Porrick.
Oh,
what's Porrick look? Oh,
sorry, I should say
no.
one more
Go ahead.
That's vitally important. I have a bassoon slung on my back, like upside down. It's a child-sized bassoon, but it's obviously still way too big.
Awesome.
Like, sticks up way above, so I can just like pull it over my shoulder, like. If I want.
I love it.
A bard. I really thought you were gonna go 8-year-old gnome barbarian. Actually,
I thought about it. No, it's gonna be bard. Bassoon
What's Porrick look like?
Porrick's
Right now,
just
at least.
Porrick's just your regular blue collar Dweverin. You can call him an every Dweverin if you want.
Nice.
He's a down homey boar farmer of a Dweverin. who just happens to also have been half cursed, transfigured into a pig. So mostly I look like a pig, but in my if my heart were to have a portrait, it would be Dweven. Once was dwarf.
Are you
I got
hiding your pigness right now?
Sort of.
How?
People don't seem to like it, and when I get into crowds, I put a scarf over my snout. You know, I've already got an eye patch.
Ah.
I'm not just wearing this for funsies.
So
This
with like
is
piggy pink,
work right
you
here.
have piggy pink skin that looks human.
Say again.
You have piggy pink skin that looks human if you cover your nose.
Kind of.
I have piggy pink
Almost.
skin. Yeah,
Not
piggy
quite
pink skin.
human, Varen.
I've got an eye patch. I put the scarf over, and then with I wear a pan helmet on my head.
Nice.
So altogether, you know, I'm pretty covered up. I do have regular little stubby hands with my fingernails are big, sort of like a pig hoof each on my little stubby fingers, basically.
Oh God.
But I'm as round as a bowling ball. I'm about 4 foot tall, stout, and you could say I resemble a pig, but I mean, I'm a dwarf. Yeah, I'm dwarf. You know,
Yeah, everyone. He looks like a pig. He's a pig.
I keep a little like bicycle mirror attached to the handle of my frying pan on my head, and the rest is here. You know, fur vest, buckle.
Wonderful.
That's me.
And let's go with Gorvich.
Yeah, Gorvich.
Gorvich.
Yeah, so I'm Dwevrin. I'm about 3.5 feet tall, and I have a staff that's the same height as myself. It's we're seeing a beautiful portrait of Porrick at the moment.
It is a great
pause.
picture. Yeah.
I wish we could show that. Well, maybe in the bonuses.
Well,
William.
that might be a little promo thing. We can show
Yeah.
some art.
So Gorvich, yeah. So Gorvich, I'm 3.5 feet tall. I've got skin color about a shade of granite gray and coarse charcoal and salt and pepper hair pulled back into a rough ponytail. I wear a simple dyed cream colored wool tunic and the same tone woolen pants down below because it's near St. Whelan's Day, right? Which is wintertime.
Yes.
Is that right, William?
Yes, we're gonna get there, and yes, it is near St. Whelan's. It's almost near what would be the solstice in our real world.
So I wear that wool to keep myself warm in the cold. I have a staff that is delicately carved marble with I forget what you call it, but it's the decoration at the top of the staff in like in a twisting pattern, and it's carved open, and inside, improbably, you see a perfectly round orb of jade that somehow got in there, and it never leaves my hand. Those are the main details about myself for the moment.
I'm sorry, your staff never leaves your hand?
Well, I mean, you haven't seen me without it on our travels together anyways.
Wonderful. So, Monty and Bellus, you have found a blue cloak, actually, that has agreed to play Tell Me True with you. What was his name? I had it earlier. Well, you know what? We'll call him Finn Slant. That's his name now. You're playing Tell Me True with Finn Slant.
Finn, you're not going to regret this game. You've probably, I'll be walking out of here with no coin in my pocket. I'm sure. You look sharp. You do.
Well, he says, you know what? I tell you what, I very rarely lose. Tell me true. I always tell the truth, and so the goddess, she really quite likes me very much, and so I think I won't regret this game. Although I think you will regret your asking to play with me.
Always true. That's right. All right. Well, that's good to know ahead of time. All right, I'll deal.
Do you have a skill or something you want to use? Do you want to roll?
I do. Oh man, yes, I do have skills. So I also would not be. above actually just having extra cards in my sleeve, but
Sure.
I generally can be okay with just Bellus telling me the other person's hand. I do have a skill called, I think it's called Lie to Me. And
I think it is called Lie to Me. I think you're right about that.
feature, but not, I'm not seeing it now. So maybe I wonder if I actually never ended up taking it. But I can use deception maybe if that's fine.
whatever you want to use.
Just to like maybe use deception to sort of like enhance the probability of me winning. But maybe if Bellus could also do something to maybe like give me some sort of substantial bonus.
What does Bellus want to do?
Yeah, so I guess with my limited understanding of the game, Claire's limited understanding, each person has a hand, and they're trying to be, get the other person to guess wrong if they have what they have. So I need
pretty
to
much basically the basic idea, and I'm gonna pretend like it's a well thought out game that I've designed perfectly and haven't just kind of thrown together over decades of playing this game. It's like Go Fish, Blackjack, Texas Hold'em. So each player has a hand, and there is a hand in the middle of the table that you're trying to get to the number 14. And you say, tell me true, do you have this card in your hand? And you can lie and say, no, I don't. And then if you can say, like, I call that, and they show you their hand. And if they do have it, then you get the card and you can, like, add it. That's the idea, basically. That's tell me true.
Okay.
That's the rough 19.
Awesome. So yeah, I guess mostly it would be okay. I know I can think about how to cheat, but it's kind of dense to explain how I would do it. But Bellus would be able to do it pretty easily.
I think generally what I do is act like I'm basically just your kid. You're kind of keeping watch of, but not really. So I'm like kind of just being an annoying kid behind your opponent, just around, like, hey, playing. So
do you want to roll a performance check?
Sure.
Or a bluff or diplomacy or something like that?
I'll roll performance because I think that is what I'm doing, and then probably would cast message to silently tell him
great
what the guy
Love
said.
it. That's cantrip, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure is.
For our listeners, cantrips are free spells that you can cast over and over and over again, as opposed to leveled spells that you only have so many of per in-game day. What did you get?
It's welcome to Claire rolling dice. Even with my +7, that's just an 11.
So, but maybe it doesn't matter too much because I rolled for my deception. I rolled a natural 19 + 6, so that's a 25.
Yeah, and I rolled for Finn, and he doesn't
guy.
Notice what the hell is happening. I'll tell you that much.
Awesome.
I think I got a little distracted, and I'm actually kind of playing and forgetting a little bit.
So right, Finn Slant says, right, so, I see that hand right there, and tell me true, you got a 3?
I sure don't.
Right, well, then I fold.
Fine, it's this is looking all right for me. You sure?
Right, but you put another hand. Hey, take that right there. That stag.
Oh wait, hold
a
up.
stag
I
is a
don't
gold
know.
coin. Stag is a gold coin. That's
okay.
You get 1 gold for your stag, or for the hand rather. He says, but wait. One more hand. And this time I'm going to raise you. I'm going to raise you to 2 stags.
Typically, I don't actually like to play twice with the same person. You know, it sort of defeats the excitement that I get reading someone for the first time.
Right then, I'll raise it. Instead of 2, I'll have 3. 3 stags.
Yeah, but then you have to understand that I'm putting that money in too. Now, if you let me put in 3, silvers against your 3 gold, then I'll play with you. But it doesn't sound like a good deal.
That's not fair. That's not fair trade. All right.
No, it's not. So anyway, we got to go. It's such a pleasure meeting you, Finn. Bellus, what are you eating? Spit that out and stop doing the farting thing. I'm sick of that. All right. Good to meet you, Finn.
Right. We'll come back around. Come back around when you're ready to play another hand, and we'll play another hand.
I might just, but probably this is the last time I ever see you. And grateful.
we will see about that then, won't we?
I'm like getting a little tearful. Like that's important somehow. We'll never see him again. Right.
Love that.
My hair turns a little blue.
Oh, that's so sad. Who else? Remi, Porrick.
How's the truffle
Gorvich.
hunt going?
Oh, roll. What survival? I would say probably.
Oh,
Rather-
my survival. Pretty good. Let's see here. Ooh, and I rolled a 4, but it comes up 9 because I'm a survivalist. So
You don't find any truffles. You do find a couple of mushrooms, though, sort of in the woods on the outskirts of the camp by the road. And you also find some, like, really, really good dog shit.
that'll do.
And he eats it. The truffle, the mushrooms and the dog shit, right?
I don't know why in the world I would eat dog shit. So, I sort of just let that one be there.
All right, okay.
as you
It's
do.
really good though. It's some good poo poo. I just want the record to hold.
I do take a little bit of that and rub it on a little minor cut that I have on my.
Good,
on my
as you
hoof.
should. Yeah, rolling in the mud.
I had been watching Monty and Bellus play that other dude, and
Well,
I come up with a pouch full of pebbles that I, with deception, am trying to convince is silver coins.
Who are you trying to convince?
Monty.
Okay.
And I say,
I mean, okay.
okay, what do you want?
Roll deception.
Is that's D20, right?
D20 plus your deception modifier. Yeah.
And I say, let's see, 24.
24?
24.
Oh my god.
And I walk up and say, coins of silver 3 would for this pouch you play with me.
Zach, perception or something?
All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to do pretty darn well.
Can I?
Did not beat it. I got like a 50.
Yeah, you can roll, Bellus.
What
14.
do I roll? I don't. Sorry,
Perception, I guess.
Where is perception?
It's not
It's
a
like in the
skill.
top
It's like a
left of the
separate
screen.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm pretty wise. See if I can roll any better this time. No, it's terrible. That's an 11.
You think that Remi has a bag full of silver coins?
Oh, so to be clear, you're saying that I bet you 3 silver and you give me that bag of coin.
If the hands play,
Sounds like a deal to me. Let's. There's a log right there. Just shuffle out there. You mind if I do the shuffling?
That's a no. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. Bellus, would you go? You see these beautiful sticks all around? Can you go grab me some of those sticks? We want those for later.
Yeah, let's go.
Sticks.
I'm like looking. I'm like, oh no,
That's what
Bellus.
I want to grab. Yeah.
Tapping them like drumstick.
And I'm annoyed because I'm like giving Bellus an excuse to go behind Remi, but I can see that Bellus has gotten super excited about the sticks.
And it's like running around all over the place. I love
I
that.
start
That's
chewing on one a little
fantastic.
bit.
Very
yes.
good.
Is that another deception to cheat?
Yeah. Deception to cheat, and Chelsea roll perception to see if he's cheating.
Should I roll performance as well for my stick dance?
Yes, you can roll performance for the stick dance.
I got a 19.
And is it D20 also for perception?
Yep. Almost
There's
everything
dice.
that's not damage is going to be a d20.
23.
Whoa.
That's what? Yeah,
You
that's obscure.
definitely see... Well, Bellus, what's Bellus's performance check?
Bad.
Beat a
It's,
23. Bad.
10.
10. Yeah, you definitely see Monty cheating.
A fair game.
Do you call him out or not?
Yes, and now I think he owes me something.
I bet you do, yeah. Well, play it
I'm
out.
gonna come up and put my mushrooms down on the table.
Okay.
Hope y'all don't mind if I barge in on this one. What is
Um,
like an awkward time to join the
Now,
game?
it was you. You are a cheater. You're a
Me
cheater.
just started here. Hey now.
This coins are mine as well as yours.
She
you're
takes
taking
your
my
3
coin because-
silver. Yeah. What do you do?
What the heck kind of game are you playing here?
Untruthful.
Well,
Untruthful. If you can say the truth even existed.
I'm like looking around to make sure, like to see if there's like the blue cloaks. Blue cloaks, right?
Yeah, blue cloaks. They're around. Common name people call people from Sazleen specifically call blue cloaks as Jays.
So what's your name exactly? Accusing me of cheating at a... I mean, come on, look at me. Do I look like the kind of face that would cheat? I have like my big marmot smile on.
Deception. Roll deception.
Me?
No. Zach.
Not rolling very well. 13.
Perception.
Do I look like I'd cheat?
You look like the face of a bat that would lie to you.
I just don't. We didn't finish the proper hand and part of the. I just don't think you should be taking my silver. Let's make this more interesting. You came up, and I accidentally say Porrick because I do know his name.
You
came
do.
up
You do
Porrick,
know
and I
Porrick's name.
catch
Yeah.
myself. Let's
Hold on now. I would like to roll a perception check to see if I recognize this fella who I do
All right.
think I recognize.
Beat an 8.
All right. I think I know. I think I met you somewhere, fella. How's a 23?
Yeah.
Monty?
You know exactly who Monty is.
You old beaver! Come over here! And I trudge over the table and throw all the coin everywhere. And just get a big old
Yeah. The log.
big hug. Whoop.
So this
Bellus,
Pig
it's
dwarf.
time to go.
Okay.
Where you been? What the hell?
This one is shiny, I say to Bellus, petting Bellus' hair.
Bellus
Nice,
is kind of
shiny.
shiny. That's not wrong.
I'm gonna you put me down, Porrick. Listen, I'm here on business, and while I'm not doing the business, I'm here to have a good time. And frankly, the memories you're evoking in my head are not much of a good time. So I prefer we walked our separate ways.
That's right. They're a great time, brother. Oh, I'm crazy, man. I mean, I don't go to bed like ever without having a little thought of your face smiling down on me. It's been ages. I mean, what?
Listen.
What you up to?
Well, apparently losing games to blatant thieves, and I like becking over to Remi. What's your name exactly, thiefing of my silver? All right, we're not getting a name, but
Remi does not answer, apparently.
Hold up now. Is cheating going on?
there's accusations of cheating, but you know me. Hey, you can vouch for me. Character witness. Tell this one that I would never cheat.
That's my brother right there. That's my blood. It may not look like it, but we are.
Yay.
You gonna swindle him? You gonna swindle me too?
Yay. I go away.
You go away. You walk away.
Mm-hmm.
With the coin?
Yeah.
Wait, she's stealing your money?
Rightfully won.
She's taking it off the ground. It looks like.
I mean, are you just gonna be okay with that, or?
I mean, there might have been a little cheating going on, and it's not really worth it. I made some good coin.
Monty, you devil!
What can I say? Listen, have you met Bellus? And I'm like ready to not be in this conversation anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like push Bellus to Porrick.
And then
And
I touch his leg and go, tag, but I don't run.
Excellent.
No.
I'm a little scared.
Oh,
I'm gonna sniff her over to see if she might be Fey folk.
Who?
Oh, Bellus?
Bellus.
Bellus is a little boy. Sorry, that's confusing.
Correct. Yes.
Hey.
We did not state our characters' pronouns at the
true.
beginning of play.
Bellus is our heathen.
Bellus is a boy. I think
I'm
Remi is a
just-
boy too, right?
Remi is
is
non-binary, I think.
great.
Cool. So they, them
Okay.
for Remi. I'm Monty's he, him.
Gorvich is he, him as well.
Dealer's choice.
All right. I play the world.
Welcome.
I am many things in this
Amazing.
context. I'm going to take this moment to pause and just so we know we had a little transition there. So Monty, you notice that Deveron is watching you, but I don't think you've just perceived it a little out of the corner of your eye. You don't probably realize the extent to which Gorvich has been eyeing your games of Tell Me True. But you do notice Gorvich, and you notice that he's looking. So there's that. Gorvich.
So as his name was Finn Slanted? Was that his name?
Finn Slant. Right, his name is Finn Slant.
Finn Slant. Yeah. Finn Slant. Losing his money to a marmot with a pistol on its back. And I see an elf with ginkgo ears striking up a conversation with said marmot. I start to talk to Finn, and I'm going to see what kind of accent comes out of me today. Excuse me, soldier.
Yeah.
Say again?
Finn's sort of dejected looking right now. He just lost.
Oh, he's ejected. Right.
He's in his
Excuse me,
first
soldier.
boat.
Don't let yourself get too down. It's people lose games every now and then. I just got here to the to Ghat Verhoven, and I had a couple of questions for you. I noticed that the gate is closed. You know what's going on?
Well, you think a lovely lieutenant would know what's going on with higher ups? I'm just here. I go if they tell me.
Sure, of course. I came from insert city name here. What was my city name again?
Oh, Skamberg.
I'm pulling it up. No. My home is Skonberg, but I came from Lethermai. I came all the way from Lethermai. I'm trying to get home to Skonberg, and I got to the gate. How long have you been camped here?
Right. Well, it's been I think 3 or 4 days for us Blue Cloaks. We come
3 or 4
we came
days.
very early. You know, with the 4th Dragoons. Of course, there's quite a pile up, and there's other companies around. But I think I've been here for 3 or 4 days, give or take, something like.
Oh, 3 or 4 days. You must be exhausted. Listen, I won't trouble you any further. And I turn away from him and put my attention back on the marmot. What is happening?
What's Monty doing?
So at this point, Porrick, I've just probably thrust to stop having to kind of be socially drained by Porrick. I've just put Bellus to work as whatever, playing tag or whatever Bellus is doing.
Which we'll get to in a second. So does Gorvich have anything to say to Monty specifically?
Well, I see Monty, but I'm also wondering what the elf did, because I think I heard their raised voices when I was trying to talk to Finn, and that's what distracted me, and that's why I turned back around. Where is the elf headed?
Remi?
Just kind of perusing the crowds, just kind of wobbling in and out, kind of peeking under, looking over, looking through, maybe looking in people's stuff, but not taking anything.
That's very suspicious to me.
Is there anything specific
go ahead, William.
looking for?
Something interesting.
Okay.
I'm trotting over
to Remi.
I am doing the same, and I'm calling out to her. I'm saying, "Hey, Leafy.
Leaf.
And
Yeah, I see your little ginkgo ears twitching. Leafy."
I turn a darker shade of blue.
I like the darker shade of blue. That's great. Yeah.
It's lovely.
So,
I see. Now I've got your attention.
and who are
Can we have a conversation? You're right. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Gorvich. Pleasure to meet you. Can I have your name?
you? Give me your name.
I just gave it to you freely. Gorvich.
I'm Porrick.
Really? What an inexpensive way to give your name. What would thou give me for my name?
I'll give you peace.
Eh,
Because I see you looking through everyone's things, and I think it's a bit suspicious.
give me peace. Pieces of what?
It's going to be that kind of conversation. All right. Stop troubling the people around you, and I'll stop giving you trouble. How does that sound?
Trouble. There's no trouble about.
Then what were you doing looking through people's things?
Is an admirer a troublesome one?
Looks like the elf is walking away from me.
Fine.
Is the elf actually walking away?
More like prancing.
I'm doing little antsy pants circles because I want to say something to the elf, but I don't want to interrupt this conversation.
What does
so
Porrick want to say?
Oh, please jump in.
I will say that when Porrick started away, I'm like, okay, I'll be it. So I'm following like one step behind Porrick, like with my feet right behind his. As he's
That's awesome.
Love that.
So
Well,
you're
since-
one step. Are you behind us, Bellus?
My understanding is Porrick is kind of like circling, kind of like near them, but not in the middle of it yet.
So
On
as,
the outside of the conversation, sort of awkwardly, and
Yeah.
you're standing like
It's like
right
you're at a
behind
party
him. I love
and no one's talking to you. And
so as
you're trying
Porrick is starting to circle, and Bellus, you're kind of behind Porrick, kind of being like,
Yeah, like kind of imitating him, but never mocking.
kind
like
of
Bella.
imitating him. But I'm noticing you moving in a way that's not your own. So because I'm already dancing, and you're kind of near our conversation, I kind of slowly start to kind of follow behind you and start to mimic what you're mimicking him. I'm still looking at,
Oh my goodness.
is it Gorvich?
Gorvich.
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 I say stop, and I cast command on her, on the player, on the elf.
Would you read what
Oh,
that
okay.
does for everyone?
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so the spell command. I shout a command that's hard to ignore. I can command the target to approach me, run away, release what it's holding, drop prone, or stand in place. They cannot delay or take any reactions until they obey. It's a will save.
Will save. So what you're going to do, Chelsea, is roll your d20 and add your will save, which is under your saving throws. It's kind of in the middle near the top of your character sheet, underneath your armor class. It should be filled
The
in.
preferred term is William save, actually.
That's right.
We're gonna keep that.
Hang on.
Put that on our Will Bednar lore.
Okay, wait. It says E plus 5.
Yeah, so roll a d20 and add 5.
Again, I'm just like, I want to confirm that this digital dice is legit because I got a 23.
Yeah, I was getting nat 20s like crazy on digital.
Is that legit? Like,
That's legit.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So, yeah. Remi.
Well, that
beats-
fizzled.
beats
Okay, I
your
have to
spell.
jump in with my favorite thing. This is a nerdy thing. Let's just take 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Most dice use random number. Claire's already like, she's heard this so many times. Most dice use like a seed to create a random number generator. Computers cannot be random. They have to have a seed. Usually they use the clock. Okay. So whatever the clock is, they use that as the seed and determine some sort of iterative randomness.
Yeah.
My favorite fact is that I don't know of any dice system that doesn't do that except D&D Beyond. Their dice system is a physics engine that actually is based on the size of your monitor and how the dice bounce inside of your monitor's size.
That's cool.
The dice.
I mean, I'm rolling
That
with
is really
physical dice
cool.
over here.
yeah, I would have loved to roll with physical dice, but I could not find mine before this game started, so I'm using the
Oh,
digital
it's
one. And
fine.
I'm like, maybe beginner's luck, maybe fey luck, but and
Sorry, that's my favorite.
Said, I've rolled 3 times so far this game. They've all been under 5 or under, so it happens.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what it is, you know.
that's how it goes.
You don't get too attached to
yeah.
your dice.
Okay,
Anyway.
so,
Remi beats your spell, Gorvich.
Yep. There goes
And
that
Remi
first level spell
also
for the day
is definitely aware that you've tried to cast
of
it.
what I just tried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't want to interrupt. I don't know if it's a good or bad time, but I just wanted to apologize for earlier because that's my brother. I don't know if I told you that, but when something happens to my brother, it just riles me up a bit. That's all. So He told me he was cheating. Allegedly. I'm not saying he was or was not cheating, but I am saying that I was wrong, and live and let live, and I just couldn't let you go with having accused you. So
You're saying that to me?
yeah. You see, I'm a Boar Clan Dweverin, and all we got is our word in this world. You know what I mean?
Ah, so he speaks directly. See, the blood doesn't run in the same in this family.
As
No.
you were all talking, I would say
Well,
that you notice the sun is starting to go down. It's getting a little bit colder. And you actually see a snowflake or two start to fall to the ground. Continue.
you got a funny way of talking. Where are you from? Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna go back over here now, and I'm terrified. I shrink back to Monty.
As that's going on, not a dialogue moment, but I'm gently, peacefully, if that's possible, running. Let me know if I can do this, William. It's a cantrip. It says it takes a minute. I focus on the target object. I'm hoping that I can focus on an elf. Opening my mind to perceive magical auras. When the casting is complete, I know whether or not the item is magical. So I'm just wondering if I'm allowed to just sense if this elf in front of me is a magical being.
Don't pick the being, pick an item on the being.
Oh, okay. What do I see on the elf?
Remi?
So there's underneath the thrifted clothing, essentially found on the side of the streets, the boots that are too big, everything. There's the kind of traditional elven higher class garment underneath, and that looks very worn, very like almost like it wouldn't even be something you would have bought. It would have been existing for like hundreds of years, possibly. And a small pouch now with 3 silver coins and about 20 pebbles.
You have a quarterstaff. I know that much.
Quarter staff, but I don't
Or
think
just a staff, yeah.
so then just a staff as well, but I don't think I have anything else. No. If
Being my class, I'm paying attention to this. I almost want to say I focus on the staff, but I'm really interested in the hundreds of years old clothing. Can I hear is there more description of the staff before I focus on the clothing, or is it just like a giant piece of wood? Is it like a quarterstaff?
It is a staff.
can I say this stuff on it?
Sure.
Okay, so it has almost like wormwood looking patterns in it, in carvings of just this like simple but like this intricate leaf pattern, but it looks like hand carved, hand chips away. But it's like kind of reminiscent of some of the patterns you're going to see on the clothes.
Cool.
Old ancient
Okay.
clothes, but it's hand carved.
Thank you, Chelsea Remi. I will focus on the old robes that are buried underneath the scavenged layers of clothing. I'm going to start with that. So that's what I use this opportunity for.
Great. You're casting a spell to do that?
It's a cantrip. Yeah, it's called it is called Read Aura.
And is there any save, or it's you just do it?
Oh, let me check.
Great.
Will, did you
No
say
save.
the sun is setting?
What's that?
Did you say the sun went down?
Sun is setting and it's beginning to lightly snow.
No saves on that, and then I'll pass
Great.
it back to Zach because
Yes,
nice.
There is a magical aura. It's subtle. It's a soft one, but there is a soft magical aura around the under, like the base layer or whatever of Remi's clothing. Did Monty have something?
I just wanted to, like, as everyone else was doing that, and I'm always keeping an eye on Bellus, even if it seems like I'm not. I'm definitely like aware of where Bellus is.
Of course, yeah.
But I would like to be like maybe survival. I don't know what you want, but to like look at the mushrooms and see if they're any good, and I'm going to take those if they are.
Sure. Yeah. Roll survival.
The mushrooms are left on the bedding table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
20.
20. Yeah, they're edible.
Okay, I'm scooping those up.
Great.
I'm eating snowflakes instead.
Good. Very good.
Better.
Very good. Nearby, there's a you're probably the closest camp that is distinguishable as a camp rather than private travelers setting up their own little nooks and hammocks and tents and stuff is a blue cloak camp. And I don't need a perception check for this. You over here in your milling about and sort of getting ready for the evening. Some of them around their stew pot talking about, well, you hear the phrase, the pale stranger. And you know that it's also the day before the eve of St. Bwielen's Day, which are two different things, but they're talking about St. Bwielen's coming up, and they talk about the pale stranger. That's a phrase you hear.
Do I know what the pale stranger is?
Roll knowledge. Or lore, rather. I mean, what kind of lore do you have? Do you have any lore skills?
I do. I am trained in lore 1 terrain, and with your permission, I wanted to pick Phalanx.
Okay. You can have
Does
Phalanx.
that work? Is that
That's
that-
I mean, you can roll Phalanx lore, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna move to Gorvich because Gorvich has something to say.
And
Oh,
I
man.
think
Hold up.
Bellus might be. Oh, sorry, Porrick. Go ahead.
I rolled a nothing. All right, I rolled a 4. So
You do not
I
know
know
anything
nothing.
about the pale stranger.
Shoot.
Okay, good.
Bellus also had their hand raised, but
Oh, I
I
didn't see.
really quickly wanted to check. Could I roll Lore Academia on
Sure.
the white stranger?
Pale.
Okay. Excuse
Pale
me, the
stranger.
pale stranger.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, he said white stranger. You gotta tell him. You gotta tell him about some white stranger now.
Okay.
Yes, you can
So
roll lore on the pale stranger.
thank you. That is a 16.
16. And what's the lore again? Academia?
It's Lore Academia. Yeah.
What you know with a 16 about the pale stranger, it's sort of like a Slender Man. Like it's like a children's story, more or less. Remi.
So, could I do a lore check on?
Yep.
I guess mine is the specialty is underworld, and lore for
So-
underworld is +5.
Yep. So it's +5 total. You roll a d20 and add +5.
19.
So I want it to be very clear that in Elansar, there is no real concept of an afterlife. In some versions of the religions is like reincarnation, and there's the achievement of godhead or enlightenment, but there's no like afterlife. So this is where it gets complicated using like a system like Pathfinder or D&D or anything like that that does have really, I would say, Abrahamic, like Judeo-Christian mores sort of baked in. So knowledge underworld where or demonic powers or angelic powers or any of those divinity things are usually tied more to fae or monsters in Elansar. So with that role of underworld knowledge and the pale stranger, you said 19?
Mm-hmm.
It is a manifestation of a forest spirit that is often attributed to Meloch by the Helmatorians. Meloch is one of the 3 main, for lack of a better word, deities. He's also called the Dark Dragon. He's dead. Often seen as a emissary or a messenger of Meloch. But you know, Remi, that actually it's not tied to Meloch because Meloch is not a fae creature. Meloch is of the earth. Meloch is more tied to the Deveran continuity of time. And the Pale Stranger is actually a fae being, or rather an avatar of what some people might, depending on what they believe, call Evalanth.
So the pale stranger is a fame messenger of Evelyn.
Yeah, as far as you believe, at least.
Okay.
Do you want to share that with anyone, or you just keep that to yourself?
Not yet.
Not yet. Everyone else also
Funny,
hears talk
funny
over
the way
the
the dice roll. I would have so known that. I don't
I
know
don't
what I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. You might know something different about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, wait.
If you're listening, then
Hmm.
you hear a right. Well, Hugh, as I was saying, I was out the other night. Well, it was only like 1 or 2 nights ago. It was after we. Well, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 nights ago because I did a lot of sleeping yesterday day. You remember? And Hugh says, "Yeah, no, I remember, Kurt. I remember." Or rather, what I mean by that is I don't remember because we had. Yeah. I know. Says Kurt. Yeah, we really got into those ale supplies. We did, but I'm telling you, I was not drunk. I I remember I saw him. I saw that pale stranger. I was trying to get into the doors when you were trying to tie your bootlaces. I saw him. I saw that pale stranger right there at the woods, and he was beckoning to me. He was beckoning to me to follow him.
Howdy! You must be from Ferrick Hills. You know, I caught that little music in your voice there.
Oh, not too far from Ferrick. Not too far from Ferrick Hills at all. Only a couple leagues, a couple miles, as it were.
Frantic Hills. Let's rewind there.
Frantic Hills. That's the name you came up with and not me.
Yeah, you must be from Frantic Hills, am I right?
Frantic Hills. Yeah. Very, very close. Very close. Just down the street, just down the road from Blast Rock.
Yep. How long since you've been back?
It's. I mean, we've been on tour. We've been on tour, and it's been gotta be 2 or 3 years at this point. But we're on our way back.
Well, shoot. On your way back to where?
Well, we're gonna be stationed right at the fort just outside of Blast Rock. Doing Emperor Thason's good deeds across the land. But there's that dang nab gate that just seems to be closed now, don't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get through that as well.
Well, aren't we all? I mean, that's why we're all holed up right here in it.
You would happen to know a way through, or also a way to reverse a piggy transfiguration curse, would you?
You gotta roll something for that, my friend. I don't know what he thinks you're talking about. What do you want to roll?
To ask him if he knows how to get through.
You got to give me like diplomacy or something. He's like, okay. I don't think he knows what you're talking about.
I roll a 6. Yeah, you got turned into a pig and you're trying to unturn it. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you, says, what's his name? Kurt. I never heard of anyone getting turned into a pig. Why are you asking? You got like a friend or something? A pig?
Yeah, happens to people sometimes. Anyways, about getting through the gate though. Yeah, you gonna help a boy from Frantic Hills out or what?
Well, here's the thing about that there gate. God for hope, it's not supposed to ever be closed. It's like what you would call. Well, it's like a symbol of the hospitality or something of between our nations, Helmtor and Kurtholm, and we're just waiting. I'm just a lieutenant. I don't got much say in these kind of matters. You really got to talk to the higher ups. But you probably can't get into talking to the higher ups. I think the highest rank in here is Lady Lynn Chambers. She's I think heading all the messages from here to the people in the gate, and they're doing that mostly by bird. Because they sure ain't talking to us down here in the mud, as it were, up there on the rafters or the what's it called, parapets.
Right in the sweet mud.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's sure soon enough this mud's gonna freeze. I think I see snow coming around.
Well, all right then. If you do find a way through, let me know.
Well, I mean, I gotta travel. I gotta travel with the company, with the 4th Dragoons. So you all right there, sir?
Oh yeah.
Sounds like maybe you're coming down with something. I know it's getting cold. You best keep yourself healthy.
Yeah.
With the coughing sickness going around,
Oh yeah. That human Wyvern sickness. Yeah.
Yeah, the coffin sickness. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You sure you know it comes from Ipsran.
It comes from Ipsran.
Yeah. Starting Ipsran, the coffin sickness.
Hmm.
You
Are
best.
Porrick!
I'm gonna go roll in the mud.
Porrick.
Hey, what's up?
Listen, Bellus said there's a stranger in the woods. Might be there's some coin in it, and I could use the extra hands. You know any friends around here? I'd say we go meet the. Well, I actually don't really know what's going on, but Bellus has an idea, and I generally find following those ideas is fruitful for us. So, you in?
Well, hell yeah.
Would be the case. Do you know anyone else? I don't think that just three of us is smart, especially with the weather coming down. I mean, I got my, luscious fur to keep me warm, but could get a little tough out there.
I go, what about them? And I point to a little frog that's in the mud.
All right. If you can catch that frog, the frog can come with us. But Porrick, what do you know anyone?
I'm on it.
Well,
Chasing a frog.
I mean, how many hands you thinking we're gonna need?
I don't know. I'd say maybe two more.
You
two
take,
more sets, that is.
I can't get any more.
take about 2 player characters more. Would you say?
A total of 4 hands on
Yeah,
Gander.
I sure think it would take a good 2 more player characters to
Okay.
round out the party.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Hey, stop listening to our conversation. But
I'm God, good sir. I'm God.
I'm not you.
As I'm looking around here, Monty, I mean, I see a whole lot of NPCs, honestly, but there's 2 that
Like I said, Elansar trends toward anachronism and the absurd. Let me add the absurd to that.
Fair.
You said you're just going where are you going again? Outside?
Well, listen, we're going out. Yeah, we're going to the forest to meet a stranger. Bellus was telling me about. Bellus, did you catch that frog yet?
Yep, got it right here. But I absolutely don't. Still running.
It is a clump of mud. It is not a frog.
Yeah, so there's potential for coin in the forest, Bellus told me. And if we do get that coin, we'll be taking 3 deductions of silver out of your portion. I will be putting that back into my pocket, but you are welcome to join otherwise. You found, you're quite perceptive, it seems.
Coins in the forest to find, but maybe something equally as silver.
Well,
Yep, I don't know.
That would be, that would be fine. All right. Do you have any friends? What's your name again?
You can call me Remi.
Remi. All right, Remi. Well, my name's Monty. Well, it's not actually. You could call me Monty, but maybe that's not my name either. It's short for something. Can you guess?
I guess.
Monterey Jack.
Wait, what?
The DM is really. You could guess. You can all take good stabs at what my full name is, but you call me Monty in the meantime. What about that? Where's that guy who was yelling stuff at us, bossing everyone around earlier?
Yeah, I mean, there's a dwarf, a dweverin over there, and I tell you what, you can't trust nobody better than a fellow dweverin, and maybe I'll go over and talk to him. What do you say?
Yeah, I think Porrick should go talk to
I'll
Gorvich.
follow the shiny.
Yeah, come on,
Right.
let's get acquainted.
I think
Remi
Bellus
and me and Bellus will stay here.
I pet Bellus on the head.
Bellus, put that clump of mud down. What is that?
I'm like
Ew.
little rocks in to make like frog eyes. I'm like, please don't show.
It's some of the dog poop that Porrick found earlier too.
Smells bad, but he's a good frog.
You find that frog a name.
That's good.
Before Porrick finds me, is it possible for me to find either a friendly-looking dweverin or someone who is clearly a licensed wizard?
Oh, sure. Perception. Just give me a perception. It won't be.
Yeah,
too
sure. Let's see if I
difficult.
find anything.
I'm a friendly-looking dweverin.
That is true. You're the friendliest dweverin I have ever met. I got a 16 plus 4. So that's a total 20. How lucky do I get?
Great. So there is a You said you were looking for a licensed wizard?
It's like, I just graduated from university. I'm assuming there's some kind of credential that comes with a license.
I will give you 3 options. There is
Okay.
a blue cloak magus tent that you can tell is like the from your studies and like dealing with the Jays, as it were, as people call the blue cloaks.
Yeah.
That like there's a specific tent designated for the company mage.
Okay.
There is also a wagon in the caravan with like moons and suns and stars and many colors, and like that is someone. You don't know exactly what, but like you sense the magical energy coming from it. And also there is like a small encampment of Deveran. Seems like they're probably blacksmiths or ironsmiths or something like that.
Interesting.
They're around, so you can take your pick.
Okay. That's a tough call because I would trust the Dweverin more than I would trust the Jays in terms of information. But if they're stuck south of the wall, they probably don't know anything either. I love that wagon, but I think my character is probably going to go to the mage's tent. I think that's where Gorvich is going for now. But I'm going to remember that wagon.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a blue cloak standing outside. It says, "Business."
Yes. Sorry to bother you. I'm a licensed mage from Lethermy, and I was just hoping I could speak to one of the officers here. I produce my license.
Fresh out of school.
Do I see his mage's license and everything?
Perception check.
All right, cool.
As he rolls, yeah, fresh out of school, just heading back to my hometown to fulfill my lifelong dream. But I thought I might be of some use to the maid. Say again, sorry?
Which is your lifelong dream?
Oh,
I don't actually
helping
care.
my
I was being
hometown.
polite. Go inside.
Sorry to trouble you, but I was hoping I could speak with an officer. Roll diplomacy.
Yes.
I 18 perceived.
You see
what's happening.
You see official Helmatorian magic license in Gorvich's hands.
Cool.
It's not a great diplomacy, William. It's like a 12.
I'm gonna give you a +3 from your license, and he says, "Go inside. I'm just here,
lucky
standing guard." There is he's probably early 30s. You think? With tons of paper just like strewn about, books and astrolabes and telescopes and compasses and all that shit, feverishly working on something. It's definitely a blue cloak mage.
I politely clear my throat.
Oh, I'm so sorry, terribly sorry. I didn't see you there. Hello, good sir, what's your name?
No. I'm sorry for interrupting. My name is Gorvich. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. May I have yours?
Gorvich. Elias Helagast, Esquire.
Helagast.
Elias
the famous
Helagast, Esquire. Yes.
Would I have known this name?
It's possible. Roll your law for Arcana.
Very, very quickly. Boop, 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 boop. Give me that D20.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm getting such sweet rolls. My Arcana, actually, with the buff, that's not bad. It's 13.
Yes, 13. You've probably read one of his papers when you were taking Theosophic Divination at school.
Oh, perfect. Helagast, yes. I loved your papers on divination during my time at university.
You read them. That's wonderful.
So I'm at your service, sir. I heard the talk. Some of the troops seem a little worried about a pale stranger. I was wondering if you know anything more about.
Superstition, of course, the pale stranger. Yes. I've heard of it. I think it's nothing more than a mere apparition, as it were.
Oh, I quite agree. I think it's nothing but superstition. But an apparition was still caused by something, no?
Well, I mean, it certainly depends on what school of cosmology you subscribe yourself to, doesn't it? Then, it's a good sir. Ha 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 ha. Yes, no, of course, but keeping with the Church of the Stag, to be serious, the pale stranger would be nothing more than a simple forest spirit, indeed, and many would say it is some sort of emissary of the great stag himself of Everland. But of course, that's nonsense, isn't it? We know that as learned men, of course.
Yes, of course. Nonsense. I suppose I won't trouble you any further, except I just wanted to ask, how long have you been here and why is the gate closed?
Oh, well, there's two very, very important questions, and the first one, the answer is well, 3 or 4 days. I think myself, I've been long enough, of course, to strew these papers all about the room or the tent, as it were. And why is the gate closed? Well, it appears that the political relationships between between, of course, the Dowager Empress Glowstone Shield and Emperor Theosin the Great man himself are going rather south, as it were, or north. Well, certainly we're not going north because the gate is closed, and so we can't go north, can we? No, things are not very good. Not very good at all.
Interesting. Before I reply, I roll perception on all of the work that is strewn about the tent.
Sure.
And I roll a 17 on that.
A 17. You recognize it as urgical geometry, and a lot of it is like blueprints for the wall Ghat Verhoven. But it's like there because it's such an old wall and there's so many different parts of it. It's like he's trying to piece together the whole of. Essentially, it's like a city. It's like a huge city that's just very long. It is a mountain range in itself. It is a wall built into a mountain range. So it's massive. He's trying to figure something out about Ghat Verhoven.
Understood. Okay. I take that little nugget of wisdom and I exit the tent.
Great.
Hey!
Oh, hello.
Hey, check this out, man. What do you call a rock that never goes to school?
Rocks don't go to school. They're rocks.
A skipping stone. It's a little Dweverin joke right there.
Oh my god.
Actually, my character finds that incredibly hilarious, and it takes him about 15 seconds to regain his composure.
From one Dweverin to another Dweverin, you know what I'm saying?
I like your style. What'd you say your name was?
I'm gonna flash my dwarven clan dagger as I say that with a little
cool.
toothy grin.
That's good.
I'm a Dweverin too.
You look a bit pink, my friend. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm sunburn sensitive. Anyways, you look like a capable Dweverin, are you not?
Well, that's very gracious. I consider myself, yes.
You see, I've got a few folks over there. We're about to go on a little job, and we need a fork. And that could be yourself, given that you're qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we need a.
Did you just say fourth?
We need a fifth. We need a fifth. I'm sorry.
Bro.
And that could be you, given that you got the qualifications. Now, what we need is a magic user who's got a license and knows how to turn someone from a pig man into a regular dwarf.
Has a man been turned into a has a dwarf been turned into has a man been turned into a pig who wants to be a dwarf? Is that what you're saying?
No, but not necessarily. But if somebody could do that, I think they'd be qualified. I mean,
I'm sure they would be too. I have no earthly idea how to do that.
Damn.
Can I send Bellus over to expedite the process?
Yes.
Oh, pitchforks.
I reveal.
I heard you were looking for a magic user with lice. You already have one.
License.
I scratched my
License. What?
Oh,
License.
well, I could draw one up.
He's not necessarily affiliated with us.
Let's go.
I just want you all to know the Blue Cloak sentry that's listening for that rolled a 5, so he did not, in fact, hear that Bellus is an unlicensed magic user, which is very, very illegal.
Nice.
I think more out of a sense of bewilderment, I just follow Bellus back to whatever is happening.
That's how it works. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Sith members eat.
So the
Hey,
party
Monty.
is together.
Brought us a ringer.
Yeah. All right, folks, gather around. Bellus has a mission for us. Bellus, explain us what we're doing here.
All right, everyone, listen carefully.
Oh, it's like old times Let's go.
Pale stranger. We're gonna go meet them.
Is this about
And there's coin involved, right? That's what.
Oh, there's coin involved.
There's coin involved. Listen, and I like kind of look to the adults. I'm like, generally these things kind of work themselves out. And
I've
we
got
do
a
get
good
paid.
feeling about it.
If there's interesting times to be had, I'm there for it.
Yeah, I've never been on much of an adventure before, but I'm ready to level up. Tell you that.
Listen, oh my goodness. I'll come along because clearly y'all need some supervision, but I honestly don't have very much time, so hopefully we can finish this in the night, yeah?
Oh, what are you in a rush to sit here for another couple days or what?
Sleepover.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
You
know if you
know-
know this, brother, but Ghat Verhoven's closed.
I'll only say I'm a little worried about how things might go in the next couple of days, but let's talk about that later.
All right, what's your name?
Oh, of course, I'm sorry. My name is Gorvich. And I look directly at Remi and I say, didn't catch your name.
Well, now I can say they call me Remi, so you may do the same.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So
Well,
tell me, Bellus, now that you have your party, of which you are obviously the leader,
Obviously.
you're traipsing off into the forest. How are you finding the pale stranger? What's your frog
Yeah,
friend telling you to do?
The only thing I overheard was apparition at the edge of the woods.
Great.
And so I'm very much I'm marching. I'm looking for ghost footprints, which wouldn't exist.
Excellent. I love
Just-
it.
While they start trapsing to the wood, I turn towards the caravan with the stars and the moon on it
Mhm.
and say, if direction is the thing we should have, we should go to one who knows direction and enter into that caravan.
Oh, into the wagon with the stars.
Into
and
the
the
wagon,
moons
yeah.
and yeah.
I'm with her.
Oh,
wait, Bellus, hold up. We've lost some of them. What are y'all doing?
I turn right around like a hairpin and start marching back.
Yo, what's the wagon? What's happening
so
here?
you're going to the wagon.
Yeah.
What's in there?
I mean, it's there. The back of it is like there's curtains, heavy curtains. Do you open them?
Yoo-hoo!
All right, fine.
I believe Remi said that they were actually entering the wagon. I think they said they were going in.
So you're like peeking into the. You definitely hear an old voice go, "What?"
And I say, what stories or wares are for sale in this fine establishment?
For sale. Nothing's for sale. And you opens and it's like a Studio Ghibli witch.
Nice.
Looks
A
like
trade for-
like a Baba Yaga, like from not the Never-Ending Story. Oh my goodness, Spirited Away.
Mhm.
You see like that kind of like what is it? What, for sale? Nothing's for sale. Nothing's for sale. Only for trade. Gifts.
For
What
sale?
gifts do you have for me? What gifts? What gifts do you have for me?
For sale is trade, and trade is gifts, and all is one.
What are you trading?
Remi. Oh boy.
What is there to trade?
You know what? I'll give you knowledge. What do you got for me?
What do you desire?
No, I'm asking the questions here, you silly little. What are you? You elf? I know your ways. Don't try it with me. Tell me what you got.
I have the hands to make beautiful wares.
I wear what I want. Thanks. No.
And what you want is what you collect.
Give me a stick and I'll give you directions. How about that? I'm gonna count to 5. 5.
If the stick is what you desire,
That was fast.
I have the
Nope. Goodbye. Curtain closes.
Shiny.
That's it. That's what you get from the wagon.
Bellus, did you see that light just floating in that ball?
Did I? Let's follow it.
Yeah.
All right, but it didn't actually seem like you really did. Look, it's right there.
I'm completely the wrong way, and I'm like, whoa. No.
We ought to be careful about that one. If that magic is some Fey folk stuff, we could be in a whole heaps of trouble.
There's only one way to proceed, and I grab the pistol from my back and go in with it in my hand.
Yeah!
We're gonna be quiet though, Porrick. Enough with that.
Yeah. Let the adventure begin.
Yeah, very good. And then it sounds like this. So you're all on your way out into the woods. The snow is starting to fall. It is growing ever darker, and you are searching for the pale stranger outside of Ghat Verhoven.
Thank you for listening to the Lochsleaf Collective, a production of Lochsleaf Media. My name is William Bednar, and we hope to see you on the next stretch of the journey.